There you go.
Oh, gotcha. We're live. All right, cool. Hey guys, this is Jared DeFazio. We're live. Welcome to our hangout. This is our first team hangout. There's been a lot of other hangouts that you guys may have tuned into and seen. Probably a little more polished than we're going to be tonight. This is our first one, so we're a little rusty. But basically, we're just here to talk to you guys, introduce ourselves, tell you more about what ARP is, what ARP isn't, and just kind of shoot from the hip and have a conversation about it. My partner in crime over there, Brendan Piccini, he and I run the traffic for ARP, and we're going to touch on that a little bit tonight. But introductions, as I said, my name's Jared, live in upstate New York, been in the industry a little over 7 years, lots of successes, lots of failures. Like I said, my partner Brendan and I own an advertising agency, and we're doing traffic for ARP, and we're excited to be here. It's been a long wait.
More about what ARP is, what ARP
Whoa,
isn't,
I'm
and
getting
just shoot from the hip and have a conversation about it.
Can
My
you guys hear
partner
me?
over there.
Yeah, it's feedback on Kelly.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So that's me, and I'll skip it over to you guys. Who wants to go next for a little intro?
I'll go next.
Right on.
All right. My name is Kelly Brown, and I'm going to do a little bit longer intro than Jared. But, you know, I got into this industry about 7 years ago, and I just want to talk about that for a minute because I dropped out of college to start a cafe and open a business with my mom. We did that for 6 years. I loved the cafe. I loved the business. I loved the customers, everything. And then one day I got a letter in the mail saying that the building has been sold and your lease isn't being renewed. So I lost my business like that. And in that meantime, I had just gotten married. We bought a house. We had a son, and I was pregnant with my daughter. So it was absolutely devastating to me. So I went on Craigslist. I answered a random ad about, you know, making money from home, no experience necessary. I went to this really long sales page because this was about 7 years ago, and I just was hooked from then. And you know, I took the next step. I filled out an application. I got approved, and I ended up starting a business for $3,000. I really didn't even know what the business was. But the reason I tell you that is because the person who created that exact funnel who got me into this industry created ARP. So we know that this is a proven process. And from there, I've had, just like everybody else, I've had many ups, but mostly downs. And the turning point for me was I was done with this industry about 8-9 months ago. I just had it. I was sick of every day a new company popping up, a new marketing technique, just all the mindset stuff. I was really internalizing it and, you know, taking it really to heart of, I need this to work. Why am I not making this work? And I called Jared, actually. I was crying. I'm like, I'm done. And he was like, I'm not letting you quit. You've put too much money, too much time. And really, it's not about you, Kelly. It's about systems. And that, to me, just turned everything around. That it's not about me, because big company owners are not doing everything in their business. They have systems in place to have a successful business. So since that conversation, you know, everything has changed. I have a system in place that's working, and more importantly, I have a system for my new teammates to plug into. So I gave a longer intro, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the same creator that brought someone who was never in this industry to buy a $3,000 business created this system that you guys are going to learn about tonight. So that's my story. I'm excited to share more about ARP, and that's it.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
I won't go as long. I'll kind of keep it short. No, I come from a background in construction, guys, and I was a safety coordinator for a pipeline. And with that said, what that meant is I was always away from my son, okay? And I had to find a way and a means to be home with him. So I started, you know, seeing what I could do online to be home with my son. So I invest myself, start seeing what other people were doing, affiliate marketing. That's where I, you know, started, you know, so Mike Dillard, Frank Kearns, and just really start digging in and learn as much as I can to invest in myself. And I always knew it was down to the system. Systems work. If you can get a system that duplicates and takes the ease off of people trying to sell something, because let's face it, most people aren't salespeople, and it's just very uncomfortable for them. And I knew from an early stage coming online that we had to have a proven system. And I also learned that a lot of people lie online. You know, spoken words can lie. Written words online can lie, so they can tell you everything about it, but one thing that cannot lie is your experience and a result in a system. And Don's proven that with his previous system, and he is the creator of ARP, which you're going to learn tonight. And I'm super excited because I haven't seen anything like this, guys, until you shared it with me a little while ago, Jared. And with systems where you can actually validate and verify it's a real person, so you can really spend your time where you need to really do the income activities in your business to really help you explode that. So what you're going to learn tonight is just that, and I'm just super excited because finally we have something where we can get duplication in our team, and just what amazing system that he has created.
Right on.
Absolutely.
Nice. Guys, I'm Brendan. I've been in the industry since I'm 20. I was one of the probably younger guys in the panel. I'm 20. My first taste and saw a traditional network marketing ad. I expanded more into affiliate marketing. Got into advertising in a funny way and paid traffic from a good friend, kind of like I call a mistake relationship, who really showed me the ropes of understanding paid ads. And then from there, once I saw our system that Don's done, and coming from an advertising standpoint, like Mike said, people can't sell, people suck at sales. So why not have a system that can duplicate? So if I sponsor 50 people, I know they're going to results, driving proven traffic to it. I partner up with Jared. We started an advertising agency, and what we do is pretty much test, try new traffic, buy media, collect data for all that different types of stuff, and that's why I'm here. So it's probably the shortest introduction you'll get from me.
Right on, man. No, it's all good, and I want to point out too that the three people that you guys just heard from, every one of them is a rock star. Mike's built huge organizations. Kelly brings so much to the table with marketing and advertising and creative work, and Brennan's just a rock star traffic guy. So you guys you just got a very little taste of these guys so far, and you're going to see a lot of them on our Hangouts, in our community, and all over the internet. So I'm privileged and honored to be here with you guys. You guys are we're gonna rock this, and we already know it. I actually also want to point out. I realized what a crappy job I did on my introduction. I was a real estate agent. I come from the real estate industry, and became complacent. Realized that working my life away wasn't worth it. Blah blah blah. I don't need to get into that, but I want to point out that I am also a product of Don's first system, the reverse funnel system. I came into that in November. Yeah, November, I think, of 2007, and I haven't looked back. I was fortunate. I had a lot of success, and I learned a lot. And I went on to have other failures, as I mentioned, and lots of other successes as well. So, and all those experiences led me to the three people that I'm here with tonight, and together we've been able to do some pretty unbelievable stuff together, and we're going to be bringing a lot more to the table as a group and individually. So I'm going to start it off. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit from my perspective anyway, and then I'm going to pass it around what ARP is and what ARP isn't, and I'm going to start off with what it isn't, and it's real short and sweet and simple. It's not another BizOp. I don't even like to refer to it as a BizOp. Yes, it does have an income opportunity attached to it, and it's an awesome income opportunity, but that's not what it's about. So what it is it's a platform, and what this platform has done is it's really solved the problem from the individual who's struggling in their business to entire companies that have awesome products and services but have terrible attrition rates because they don't have one thing, and that one thing is a true automated and duplicatable sales process. So this platform, what it allows you to do is it allows you to plug in pretty much anything, any business model, any sales process, whether it's an MLM, a direct sales company, network marketing, and even outside the home-based business niche with real estate, mortgage, insurance, you name it, and give them a real duplicatable, being the most important word, really duplicatable, however you want to say it, sales process and automated. And there's a lot of different tools that make this this platform and this system automated, and it's going to blow your mind. One of the things we have coming to the table, I'm not going to go into too much and ruin it too much, but one of the things that you're going to get in ARP, and I know people have talked about it on the Hangouts, is a custom funnel. And the custom funnel allows you to, that's what this platform does. It allows you to plug that into your business model and hit the ground running and be able to provide that to everybody else within your organization. So that's my 2 cents. Do you guys want to add or take away or tell me I was wrong? Who wants to go?
Okay, I'll go. Just from my perspective of why I think ARP stands out from everything else out there is because when you have a business opportunity, your market is so small. And when you talk to people about, oh, I have this great new business, their back goes up and the wall goes up, and it's so hard to reach people. But this is a tool. So our market is huge. We're able to market to, just like you said, you know, realtors, insurance, plus every info marketer, network marketer, internet marketer. So the market is huge. It's customizable to any business. We do not collect emails. We collect cell phone verified leads, which is cutting edge technology. So if you guys can just picture this, you know, we have traffic that you can purchase. You purchase an advertising pack, gets put in a rotator. In the rotator, a person's looking for whatever your business is. They go to your website, and there's your video in there because it's customizable. They put in their cell phone for more information. So this is an SMS technology. Now that they have to verify that cell phone number, and then you're able to communicate with them through text messaging, which is huge. You don't have to send another email. I hate email. I don't even check my email anymore. I hate it so much. Even things I subscribe to, I don't even read anymore. So email is out. It's overrun. It's flooded. So this is the new way. So, you know, we do SMS technology. You get to communicate with your every lead through texting. We have an application that sifts and sorts every lead. Everyone who's serious goes through this process. And what that does, it leaves you with a super highly qualified lead. That's when you introduce your business to them. And they either join, which awesome, you made a sale, or they don't. And what that don't is that now they're on your list. You have an SMS list that you're building. You can monetize that list, send them another offer. You can do a solo ad on that list, whatever. But that's the process, an overall process. So that's what stood out to me, that the technology sifts and sorts the prospects, and it's SMS. I don't have to email ever again, and I love that. And also that it's an umbrella business. You can lead with one website and market many different things on the back end. So it takes out all the clutter, the noise, it simplifies it, and then every new teammate, you plug them into this automated duplicatable system. So that's really what stood out for me for ARP. So I'm going to pass the mic to either Mike or Brendan, but that was important to me.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch a little bit more. What got my attention, because I do build systems, but not at the level that what you're going to see in ARP. And to get back to what Kelly was just saying, the cell phone verification is really what intrigued me and got me very excited, okay? Because how many times do you do your marketing, spend your advertising, and get a huge cell phone list? People come to your site, okay, and I'll just use this as an example, like you're on a site, and what they do, they get kind of curious or catch their interest, right? Well, you ask for their name or just their email. So you could have a catch-all email that's fake, or an email that you don't even check, okay, just to see what's on the other side of the system. And we get that all too often. So we build these huge email lists, but most of them you're not going to be able to really market to, okay? Your autoresponders is just going to be marketing to a dead email, okay? People aren't checking that, whether it actually gets delivered, goes through their spam, or if the people are even checking their email. So right there is a frustration part with mine, being years in the industry, building the list and trying to figure out the best way to really make sure that the emails are good and really getting your emails open, the deliverability rate. So here with ARP, which is I want to say badass, it's awesome, is when they go to your site, your capture page, you capture their interest, and when they go, you ask for their name and then their cell phone, not their email, okay? And when they put their cell phone in, guess what, guys? You send them a code to their cell phone. So if they put a fake cell phone number in and they get to the next page, they can't proceed on, okay? So it forces them to go back to put in their real cell phone number so we can send them a 4-digit code so they can proceed on. Unlike some of these other systems that you might be using out there that ask you for, once you fill out the form and it makes you act like you're a real person, put in, hey, what are these 4 letters here, and you get to see it personally, but still you don't have able to respond to them. So not only are you building a huge cell phone list, like Kelly said, you're going to respond, your autoresponder, you can send text to them right away, and guess what, guys? And what is it, Jared? People check their cell phone in the first 90 seconds of receiving a text, or is it quicker than that?
It's right now. The statistics seem to change every once in a while, but they're all like very, very fast. It's within 3 or 4 minutes max.
3 or 4 minutes, yeah. And you know that they're checking that, guys. You know that your message is getting to them once you do your autoresponding and your marketing to them. And now once they do verify they're a real person, we want to make sure that we're qualifying them, okay? Because too often in the industry, we waste our time with tire kickers, people that aren't interested in anything, and you sit there and waste too much time with the wrong people, okay? The system not only verifies a real person, you can communicate with them, but now you go through a survey part of the system to kind of qualify where they're at in their life, what they're looking for, and you have to approve them. And then that's when they actually get to see your opportunity. That's where they deserve your time. That's where you can sift and get rid of all the tire kickers and do those the income producing activities. Okay, so you're not wasting your time. So we could go on and on about this, guys, but I've never seen anything that's going to help you get to duplication in your team. And when you start getting people that's confident about something, seeing a duplication, their team growing, guess what? They start getting really confident, and they're actually sharing it even more. So I'm super excited that, Jared, that you shared this with me, and I actually got to see exactly how powerful the system is. And then on the back end, you can market any business, like Kelly said, and there's so much to it. And I'll let you guys touch a little bit more on that. But that was the main. What got me interested in it, and so much from coming from the online space and doing some massive marketing, building some big teams, because I could get to duplication.
Jared, before you talk about traffic, since we're talking about the process here, can you talk a little bit about what our conversion rates are and what's average in our industry and what we've experienced so far?
Yeah. I know.
So important. We're above everything else, everybody else out there. So. Yeah,
no, definitely. I'm definitely going to touch on that. The reason I don't want anybody to think we're skipping out on Brendan. And Brendan, if you want to add your 2 cents on what we just talked about, Brendan's got a little bit. He's battling some laryngitis, so if you want to add your 2 cents to what we were just talking about, man, we'd love to hear from you. Or if not, we'll
keep it short and sweet. My biggest thing, when you're comparing email and text, it comes down to one thing for me, and that's trust. You need to gain the prospect's trust to confirm, to get on your newsletter, your list, and let's be honest, people give their email out like nothing. It's not important to them anymore. Times are changing. How many people are going to give out their actual cell phone, a verified cell phone number, to someone they don't know? And chances are they're not. So why I'm a big believer in this, because when you are collecting a cell phone, it's a confirmed actual subscriber. It's not an email on 20 different lists, an email that's vacant. I know a lot of this is redundant, but from a conversion standpoint and from a building team standpoint, you will build a bigger team in any business, any program, having verified cell phone leads over emails list. Now, I'm not saying email is important. It has its place. If you have a list of 100,000 subscribers, you're going to do damage. But if you have a list of 1,000 cell phone verified leads, you'll do just as much as damage. Jared, in my experience in building teams from paid advertising, just with building ARP, this is the only two-way platform I believe there is in the marketplace. The duplication, how quick we've built our team with not a lot of leads. I mean, we're not putting it. Our list isn't 50,000 subscribers. I mean, we've built huge teams by putting in a couple hundred, verified leads, because we know when they're going through that process, they understand it, and they're looking for what you're talking about. They're looking for what you're offering, and it makes it's night and day. And you're working with people that aren't going to waste your time. I mean, I just look at our team. Every person we've connected with, they're on the same track. They're not. It's a night and day process, and the best way to experience it is actually opt in and take a tour, see for yourself, because us talking about it isn't going to justify it. But from a paid ad standpoint, it's trust. People don't want to give their cell phones out, but with an application process like this, the whole process, it refines really everything what we're doing. And I'd rather have a list of 10,000 cell phones than 100,000 emails, because my open rate on a text message is north of 90%. Emails, if you're good, you're at what, 20%? That's good on the first email. Most people
really good.
Most people aren't even going to master that, because that's a whole nother learning. That's a whole learning process. Can I get a 20% open rate on a first email? If I put John Doe into my business, a newbie, no way. But when he sends a text out, which is really easy, I know his prospect. Are they going to open every text? No. But the average person is going to open 90% of the text messages. That's just the metrics right now from advertising. With companies, you don't even see. I mean, now when you pay your phone bill, you get a text from AT&T, hey, thanks for paying your bill. They send an email. How many of you checked email? You all check your phone because, oh, popped up my phone, I got a text. So that's my 2 cents on it. I want to be pretty short and sweet to the point.
Yeah, no, man, it's perfect. The value is in the list, especially when you're building a list of SMS subscribers, because the ability to monetize that, man, and turn it. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I won't get too far ahead of myself, but Kelly, I'm going to touch on conversions. I just want to touch on one more thing. I don't want to beat a dead horse here with the SMS, but it really is such an important aspect of what we have, and I want to clarify and make sure that you guys understand. This is a two-way texting platform.
Yeah.
Okay. So meaning not only can we text our leads, they can also text us back, and we can communicate. We can have a conversation, whether it's right from our ARP back office or from our phone or whatever. But we have the ability right at our fingertips to immediately start texting with people. And what that does, that builds an instant connection. It builds an instant relationship. That person, like Mike was saying, people check their phone, respond to a text within 3 or 4 minutes of receiving it, and that's on the long end. Most people do it instantaneously. Even if it's just, who the hell is this? You're going to get some kind of a response. But the ability to build a connection and a relationship with your leads is so fast and so powerful. With email, some people aren't responding 48 hours, 72 hours later, and it's so much gets lost in translation between the whole emails back and forth and all the time passing. So, and I want to share a story with you guys. This is something. It wasn't me, and it wasn't anybody on the panel here, but it was somebody in our ARP community. He was texting a lead. Check this out. He was texting a lead, and I don't remember the conversation verbatim, but it was, "Hey man, I got the link. I saw it. I'm really intrigued. I'm in the delivery room. My wife and I are having our first child." This guy took the time to respond from a text while he's in the delivery room having his first child. I have a 2-year-old son. It was the biggest, most powerful experience of my life, and I'm sure it was for this guy too, but he had his phone in his hand. It only took him 30 seconds to do it, and he let whoever that was, I think, I can't remember who it was that had that happen, but he let him know he was interested, he got his message, and he was going to communicate with him later that day. That's powerful. You tell me when that could ever happen with email. Maybe it could happen with email, but not that way. So the value of the SMS platform, the two-way SMS platform, is untouchable. And Brennan and I are going to talk about really the value of building the list and the ability to use this platform to monetize. And the other thing I just want to point out before I talk about conversions is, with the custom funnel, because I know some of you are thinking this out there, you don't have to lead with ARP. ARP is always going to be an option, but this custom funnel is going to allow you to lead with your primary business. You can use ARP for the opportunity or not. So you don't have to lead with it. You can lead with your primary. I want you to get that, put it in your head, because that's why this tool is so, so powerful. And if you have 5 opportunities, you can market all 5 of your opportunities. If you have 100 opportunities, you can market all 100 opportunities through this platform, manage them all through this platform, not have to log into 100 different back offices, and I mean, we can go on for hours about all the different aspects of why this is such a great thing. I'm just trying to get it all in as short a time period as possible because I don't want to bore you guys to death. You're going to see it for yourself and then understand it even better. So conversions. So what we've done so far, and I'm going to go two ways with this, right? What are the average conversions? If you're getting on email, let me start with what our conversions were with ARP. ARP, we were converting from lead to paid application. So meaning that once you opt in, there's an application process. So from lead to application, we were converting at, I think, 18%. Is that right, guys?
18.
18? Okay.
Yep.
And then from application to sale, we were converting and are converting. Actually, I didn't mean to say were, and are converting at 27%. Okay. Which sounds like I'm lying, because anybody that's been in this industry would automatically think I'm lying. So 27%, that's huge, right? The average lead to sale is you're doing a phenomenal job if you're getting 2%, 3%. That's the average. Sometimes 1% is a home run. If you're hitting 5%, you're running a multi-million-dollar business. It's just the way it is. So
I just want to intervene one point. From a paid advertised standpoint, this is any email, text, whatever. With a 1% conversion rate from a lead to buy ratio. Now it's obviously going to vary if you're selling a 25, a 97, a $500 product, whatever. But on a 1% conversion from paid traffic on cold traffic to a lead to a sale, you have $1 million blueprint with a 1%. So that's the stat. With 1%. Now, people might look at it and be like, "Oh, I don't understand it." Well, they might not understand how to cultivate, build a list, monetize it. So all you need is 1%. If you're converting 1% right now with paid traffic consistently, you're ahead of the curve. And I think most people, can testify that. I don't know everyone's conversions, but most people aren't converting at 1%. They could be, but I would doubt it. The average person in our industry, from lead to sale, even with a $30 product front end, I guarantee they're still not at 1%.
Oh yeah, no. And like I said, if you're doing somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 5, you're hitting a grand slam out of the park.
Yeah.
So Mike, you looked like you wanted to say something. Did I interrupt you?
No. I was just agreeing with it. 1%. I mean, that's most people don't get that. I mean, it's pretty rare. 5% is just amazing. I was just not in my head because
Yeah. So the fact that we're converting 18% from opt-in to application to sale at 27% is huge. Now, I want to say some of that is going to be considered warm market because we haven't officially launched. We're still technically in beta, right? A lot of people have invited their warm list, their warm markets. So even if, let's go like worst case scenario, let's say you cut those numbers in half, we're still knocking it out of the freaking park. And our conversions, especially as we gain traction in the marketplace, our conversions are going to go through the roof. Believe me or not, I don't care. We've got the numbers to prove it. And I know this is a different system and it's a long time ago, but in Don's last system, selling a $3,000 product, at our peak, we were converting from application to sale at 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, with a $3,000 product. So.
And you didn't even really know what the product was. When I bought that business for $3,000, I really didn't know what I was buying.
You just memorized.
That's how good the system works, which is kind of crazy. But I was just hooked. That's how great the process was with the application, with the paid application. I knew I was getting the right information, and I was just ready to do what the next step was. And I think a lot of people are in that same boat. They're just waiting for the right information because there's so much out there that they're just, they're sick of it. So this is like a breath of fresh air, this ARP is in this system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't even like throwing that 60% number around because half the people listening right now are like, whatever, you're full of it. But yeah, I guess as time will tell and you'll see for yourself as we move forward into this platform. So, what else? Is there anything else that you guys want to cover before we get into traffic and stuff?
No, I've covered what I want to talk about. It's nice.
The only thing that I'll say is that, like, right there alone, the process is just amazing, and it really stands out from what's out there. It is for any business, and we've already talked about the benefits, but now what you're going to add to it, this is not out there, because there are a lot of great companies out there, great products, great tools, but what's always missing is how do you get qualified people in front of that offer? And this has been solved, and that's what you're going to talk about, but everything together is just amazing. So that in itself, what we just covered, is a home run, but now you're going to take it to the next level. So go ahead.
Yeah, Jared, just one quick point. This is something I want to talk about. In just direct sales, network marketing, not real estate. I don't want to touch on real estate or finance or health, but right now, most people are probably in make money online, network marketing, direct sales. And this is a question that I want them to think about. Whatever company you're in, I'm not going to name any companies, whatever program, do they ever give you the keys to be successful in your business and give you total freedom on how to market? Do most network marketing companies say, you can do this or that? It's very, I know you're an independent, you're considered an IBO, independent business distributor, whatever. Most of them have rules. Now, what ARP and QuickList are trying to do is give, it's a solution. We want to give the affiliate the power, the little guy, to be able to take a system, build, a program, build his own funnel or whatever, do whatever he wants. We want to give him tools to be successful. We don't want to say, listen, you're only allowed to use this system and do this, because most of network marketing now, it's all it's you can do this, you can do that. We want people to be, they're entrepreneurs. We want to for themselves. We don't want to say, listen, you join a business, now you're handcuffed. Be free. We want to be able to build a list, monetize your list. I don't care if you're in one network marketing company, if you're loyal to them, great, but we want to show people how they can make more money with their list using their own products, their own funnel. That's what it's about. It's not about, I know this probably sounds ridiculous, but we're not a network marketing company. I don't care what you promote. We want the individual, the affiliate, to be successful, not with one company, but as an entrepreneur in their own business, because you are in business for yourself, even though you represent a company. So you should worry about yourself, building your own brand, building your list, monetizing list, not what some CEO says you can only promote. That's not what it's about. It's about being an entrepreneur. I just want to let people think about that, because I know a lot of network marketing companies, they're strict. You can only promote us. If I see you promoting someone else, you're gone. There's none of that, guys. Be in business for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's 100% true. No, exactly. And we know we've all seen lots of different debacles going on all over the internet with that situation that you described right there. You can do this, but no, you really can't. And that, this does give you total freedom to build your brand. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what you just said. It's an awesome tool, and you guys are going to see it firsthand. I love how Don said something on the last call that we did, and I don't know, it won't be verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, I don't care if you're a superstar hero marketer, or you're a brand new person on the internet, first time, never even turned one on before. I don't care who you are, anywhere in that scale. If we give you the keys to a Ferrari and you get inside and you turn it on and you hit the gas, you're going to go fast. That's really the perfect way to describe what we got. Yeah. Because it is automated and it is totally duplicatable, and not only with the ARP model, but with the custom funnel and plugging it into whatever you're going to plug it into. So, and I'll leave a teaser with the custom funnel. You guys, there's so much you're able to do, and there's so many ways to make money, and you got to really be a part of the community to find out what that's all about. But it is an amazing tool. So let's talk traffic, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll open it up for Q&A for whoever has some questions, and then we'll call it a night. But traffic. So as I said, Brendan and I, we have an advertising agency, Vision Marketing, Traffic Pros. We've specialized in a lot of stuff. I've done a lot with radio. Brendan's done a lot with online. We've brought our two worlds together. We've created a very successful ad agency. We have clients that pay us anywhere from $20,000 a month to $500,000 a month. And then we decided when we hooked up with Don and ARP that we're going to go exclusive with this platform because we really get what this is and the amazing growth that it's going to have. So Brendan and I are exclusive with ARP. And Brendan, I'm going to let you kind of give a quick overview. I don't think you need to go into too much detail, but give us the 30,000-foot view of who we are, what we do, and why it is exclusive and all that good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. We are exclusive with QuickLister, like you touched base on. I don't want to get too carried away. So, just in our industry, make money online. People think as traffic as a solo ad provider. I buy 100 clicks solo, 200, whatever. I do some PPC, whatever. That's fine. And that is pros and cons. But what we've done is we're not a typical solo ad vendor, a power broker, a distributor of co-registration traffic. Over the course of years, these relationships have taken years. We've developed relationships with actual advertising agencies like us, actual networks, where we'll do a non-compete with a client with a network. So say we weren't promoting QuickLister. Say Dave had an unbelievable health and wellness nutritional product, and he had an affiliate program tied to it. And we need to find it. We have the offer now. We got to find traffic that matches with it. What we'll do is we'll go to our agencies and say, listen, we're going to move X amount of IBOs, IBUs, or volume. Most people call it volume or units. We're going to agree to spend $50,000 per month for the next 90 days. And by doing that, we're gonna want a non-compete clause, meaning if someone else in our industry or a competitor wants to advertise where we are, we have a non-compete contract. It's like a typical contract saying, listen, blah 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 is a non-compete with us for 90 days. So what that does is it creates exclusivity, but you're also internally feeding yourself traffic as well, because if you start owning these networks, you own all the traffic, because as you start to build your list, that traffic's on your database. So you're building data that you own internally. But what happened with us, Jared, is we did network marketing is big, but it's not as big as health. So all the traffic we were running, we kind of internally own all the traffic out there. And the problem with smaller solo ads is that they're not bad. I don't want to knock distributors or vendors, but chances are if you're new to advertising, you buy a 100-click solo ad from Dave's solo ad shop or whatever. You get 100 clicks, say you get 20% opt-in, 20 leads. Chances are those leads have been recycled, redistributed from a power broker. Now usually the advertising agency kind of works like politics. You have all the guys up top that control everything. Then you have all it's like the pyramid scheme. Everyone else, it goes down and goes down and goes down. A few agencies control all the traffic. So what happens is someone else buys it from them. They resell it. They resell it. Now that lead is on 7 different lists, which is fine. But now here's the problem for the newbie. That lead's on 7 people's different lists. May the best marketer can win. Because whoever can market the best, sell the best, persuade the best, that lead is going to join that person in opportunity A, B, C, D, or all the above. That's why you have your gurus and leaders. Because chances are, if you walked in on a list and you saw, say, a guru or an average guy, chances are people think, oh, if I join the guru, I'll make more money. It's just human nature. So that lead's going to go to the guru. So what we want to do, guys, is create exclusivity for the community, not for one marketer, not for one guru. We want everyone to have an equal opportunity doing that. So what we've done is signed non-competes with a few agencies that are under us, work under our umbrella that we co-own, and that's what we're going to be doing with all the traffic. So say an individual guru came and approached us and said, listen, I know you guys are doing the traffic. I want to buy here. We'd say, listen, you're participating in the co-op. We're not going to run traffic on the side with you because that would, defeat the whole purpose. That break the ethical code. So that's how we got this type of traffic. And really, what happened is once we ran traffic for a few clients, some in the info, some in the make money online, some in survival health, we've really grown our brand. And the biggest thing, Jared, I think you'd attest for is the relationships we've created now. We have track records of spending, $100,000 a month with one agency with one product. So that's traffic you're going to be using. We don't resell our traffic to regular brokers. We don't sell it to regular affiliates. We usually work with info marketers or actual agencies and companies. We don't really work with individuals. I mean, we have, but usually doesn't make sense unless they own the product, which is an info marketer. And if you want to touch on that, Jared, please do. If I did forget anything, I wanted to keep it pretty simple, but I started to ramble a little bit because it is tough to explain in a pretty
Yeah,
basic.
no, that's really it in a nutshell. I mean, we can do an hour long explanation of everything that you just said, but no, that pretty much sums it up. Um, yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll point out is up until ARP, we were strictly a referral. We didn't have a web. We don't have a website. We didn't have a website. We didn't have a phone number on the internet that you could call us. You were strictly referred to us, and it was a minimum just to walk in the door to talk to us is 10 grand. So what we've really done with walking or hooking up with ARP is we've taken that, all the value that Brendan just spilled out to you, and we've made it extremely affordable in the co-op structure. So yeah, and I'll touch on pricing and what you get, but I don't think we need to go too far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, one thing also, what you and I saw with QuickLister is people think ARP is the opportunity. QuickLister will become an exchange center, a database, a hub of e-commerce. It's not one opportunity. It's going to be multiple opportunities, multiple end products. We're going to become, I would say, a hub of distribution of products and services. So when people say, well, why would you work with just ARP? It's really not ARP. It's really the umbrella of QuickLister. And QuickLister is probably going to have thousands of products and services. So I don't want people to think we're just limiting our. I mean, we are working with one client, but I can see someone saying, well, why would you just limit yourself to one BizOp? Is that not smart? And I would agree, but we're not just one BizOp. There's thousands of products and thousands of different offers we'll be running traffic to. Real estate, finance, make money online, whatever it may be, whatever comes to the door, we have a solution for that.
Yeah, and there's already, I can't say too much. Yeah, there's already a lot of that stuff in place, right? So, but yeah, we're going to start off first servicing ARP and then grow very rapidly from there. Our co-ops, what I said about making our prices affordable is we wanted to make it so that anybody could participate. So we've created what we call ad packs. I don't know if we came up with that word, but that's what we're calling them. Ad packs that people can purchase from us. They're $100 a pop, and what they get you in your funnel is 20 to 25 opt-ins, verified cell phone opt-ins, not hits, opt-in leads into your funnel. And the beautiful thing about this whole platform and the custom funnel especially, right, is people are having their custom funnels, and if you market more than one opportunity, right, really get this. The value, obviously, the value is in the sale, right? We're in this to make sales for you guys, but the value, you're building a list at the same time, and going back to the building a list of SMS subscribers, and then having multiple opportunities or funnels on top of that. So if you have 5 funnels and you're getting 20 leads on average, right? Really, you're getting 100 leads because you can monetize that lead into all 5 of your opportunities. Hang on one sec. Yeah, so you can the ability to monetize is huge, and when you really get, I mean, the value of building this list through this platform is you can't even put a number on it. There's so much potential. I get all excited talking about that because it is huge. But for a lot of you, it's going to be using it yourself, experiencing it for yourself, and that will be very, very soon. So that's it. We don't need to talk about traffic too much more. If you guys want to add or take away from anything I just said.
Yeah, I'll just add one quick thing. Why do most people fail in our industry or business? It's just a lack of advertising, a lack of people to their offer, right? And then after if they do get that to their, and that's where you guys come in because you guys can take care of that. But if you can get people to the site, you have to have a system. I mean, you have to have a system that's going to walk them through the sales process. So that's what we have, and ARP is going to utilize that for you guys. So I mean, we see so many people that's getting frustrated. They're just to the point where they don't know where to look, guys. I mean, once you see this, you're going to understand why some of the top marketers are in here, because it's making everything easier for them. It's going to make on people that are laser targeted to your offer, people that are interested in your business, and that's where you can spend most of your time. And you're going to see the duplication start happening there, and it's going to start coming, being fun again for everybody. And that's what I'm excited about. from building big organizations. I'm excited to see other people start seeing success and really understanding the right way to market a business. And with you guys providing the traffic, you get that obstacle and that objection out of the way, and then the ARP with the system. It's just a win-win all the way around for everybody, and I couldn't be more happy to be part of it, and happy for the connections that I've made and introduced ARP as well.
Right on, man. Awesome. Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting a little feedback. Yeah, so no, Mike, you're exactly right, man, and it is exciting. It's a lot of yeah, we have some exciting times in front of us, but let's open it up. Kelly, do you want to add anything?
Not really. I mean, just we've covered everything. Just that this honestly will solve every problem of the marketer that the marketer's having. There was another company that came out that was supposed to solve all the problems, but really it was just learning more and more and more and more marketing techniques. That's not going to work. That's not duplicatable. And really, it just doesn't work. You have to either have a ton of money, go find paid advertising, the right stuff, test and tweak, and or sit on social media all day long and try to build relationships. I know me as a stay-at-home mom, I just don't have either one. So this solved my problem as a marketer. So, and also I was having a little success at the end, but what was happening, I had all of my new teammates calling me every single day. How do I do this? I couldn't deal. I was having so much guilt about their success. So for me, this solves my marketing problem. Unlimited amount of traffic that I could just hit a button that's totally affordable, and a system that's automated and duplicatable for any business. So that's really it. It just solves problems, and we're going to open it up for Q&A. You can type in your question below and I actually have another computer over here so I don't mess up the Hangout, and I'm going to read the questions if anybody has one, and we'll get them answered, okay?
Perfect.
Yeah, right on.
Come over here. Oh, yeah. No, it's not a $3,000 product we're talking about. People are scared because they said $3,000 for the other one. Do you want to talk about being a founding member? Because we are launching, in a very short time, that if you get in now, maybe the benefits, why people are typing their questions?
Yeah. Yes and no. Yeah, we are launching very, very soon. Could be tomorrow, could be in 3 days. I don't know the exact. Don's going to send out a text and let us all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, technically we are going to be considered founding members. Now, I don't like to pitch that to try to recruit as many people. Whether you get in now or a week from now or a year from now, you're going to benefit from this system. But obviously there are some extra benefits for being a founding member. We are launching, so just take advantage of this thing. And no, this is not a $3,000 product, but I'll tell you what, it should be.
Yeah.
It really should be.
I agree.
For what you're
We have a
getting.
few questions, guys.
What's that, Kel?
We have a few questions. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do 'em up.
So the first question is, can we put our own leads into the system?
Of course, yeah. You can do your own advertising. I encourage people to, do your own stuff. Obviously, yeah, if you want to do your own paid marketing or want to run a solo ad or PPC or, network with your list, definitely put your own leads to the system as well.
Well, were they talking about if you already have an existing list, if you can upload it into the system?
I'm not really sure. They didn't specify, so.
But yes, you are going to be able to do that too. If you have a list, you are going to be able to upload or load that up into the system. Yes.
Okay. Are the leads general opportunity leads or specific leads? From Daniel J.
They're whatever they. I mean, we can target them to like I said, to start, they're going to be targeted towards ARP.
Yeah, people looking for a business biz off for ARP. But if you have a say you're running a real estate offer, finance offer, obviously it'd be appropriate to whatever market or niche you're talking about. But for ARP, people looking to start a business, people looking for an online franchise, people looking we'll even target, believe it or not, Jared, I know you and I talked about this, we've had really good success targeting people already in our industry because they're looking for solutions. So we'll target people maybe in network marketing, because how many of them need a system because they can't sell? I know, Mike, you talked about that. A lot of people need it to be able to recruit. So those three aspects, what I talked about, will be the appropriate people we're targeting.
And on a larger scale, we can target anything that we need to. Whatever, if you have a health product, boom, we can do it. If you have real estate, boom, we can do it. If you have, yeah, we can do it for anything.
Okay. Someone asked how much to join, which, that's up to you.
Say that again, Kel?
How much to join as of right now? If someone wants to join tonight, how much will it be for that?
It's $150,000 directly to my bank account.
Mine too.
You know what? I hope this doesn't come off wrong. When someone asked that, I say, just go through the system. It's going to explain everything in there.
Fill out the application.
Yeah, that's
the whole point, because we don't want you guys to have to answer that for people as well. We want you to experience the whole system.
This is what we're exactly. This, Mike. Let the system sell. Let the system
do it, guys. You're going to see it once you get in there. If you're serious about your business, you'll make it through all the process, the application, and then it's going to go in and explain what ARP is. So I don't get into that because I want you to qualify yourself first before I start, spending time and trying to justify, why you need this and why not, because the system's going to do that for you guys. And that's ultimately what we want for you guys. So you don't have to start answering and going through all these objections. Let the system work, and let the system work for you. Okay, if you work the system, it will work for you.
Perfect.
But it's not anywhere near 3,000. So.
No.
Very affordable.
Very affordable.
I mean, there were a few questions that were, repeat questions, just about the leads and just really how to get started. So you can click the button that says Get Instant Access, and you can see what we're talking about. That will take you through the funnel that you're going to be able to set up. And just remember that that's customizable. You'll be able to put your company videos in there or your videos in there, or lead with ARP. You have a lot of options here. So let me see if there's any more questions. Yeah, just really repeats on the leads. So I think we're good. We'll open, maybe keep it open for another minute or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely, yeah. Let's keep it open for another 30 seconds, a minute. If you guys ask us whatever you want, that's what we're here for. And I don't know, any closing thoughts from any of you guys before we wrap it up?
No, I think we went over the key points and why people aren't successful in things. They need a system like this just on laser targeted people and people that deserve your time, and the system's going to sort that for you guys, and you guys can provide the traffic. And that's I think we covered everything that should that people need and with the system here.
Right on.
We had someone join. Lori just came out and said that she just joined from our webinar, so that's awesome. Welcome to
nice.
the Lori.
Hey, that's I will touch on this real quick. Lori, welcome aboard. Get plugged in and get in the community. Get on the surfboard and say hi. Introduce yourself. And guys, I'm not going to give too much away about the surfboard, but our community.
Right.
Something that Kelly touched on earlier about having to personally deal with your entire team or downline, whatever you want to call it, and not being able to manage that. You don't have to do that here. Our community is your sponsor, and that's huge. This community and the tools we have set up within the community are sick, awesome. So, Lori, welcome aboard. I'm glad you joined us.
All right, we have another question. If I join now before launch and pay $249 reseller license, will I have to pay again when ARP launches? No, 30 days after.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone buys 13 shares of ad packs, what would the approximate number of sales be?
You can't answer that.
Yeah.
You know, we legally can't get into guarantee that. I mean, I legally can't get into it. The best way to describe, I mean, Jared, what would be the best way to answer that? Because I know it's a big thing with compliance is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
we can't. That's just a no-no. You're gonna get 13 ad packs. You're gonna get on average 20 to 25 leads per ad pack. So you're gonna get those leads, and the system's gonna do its thing. We can't say how many are gonna convert, not because we're afraid to, but because we can't. We'll be posting our numbers and results all over social media and everything like that, and everybody else will be as well. But we just can't say.
Yeah, that's over 300 and some verified cell phones, guys. And you know how much a qualified verified cell phone goes. I mean, it's
And that's just it too, man. And I really can't stress this enough. The sales are always the goal, but really your list is your true value. And I'm not taking away from the sales because that's what Brennan and I are striving for. We want to get you guys the best results, and we will get you the best results. But don't undermine the value of your list with with an SMS list. The ability to monetize that, whether it's in a week or the rest, it's going to be the rest of your career. You'll be able to monetize that list, so you're just building. The lifetime value of those leads, you can't put a number on it. So
you have a great question, Jared. Two really good questions. First, how much time does it take to learn how to use the system? Is there a steep learning curve? And also another question, is ARP international?
Yes to the international.
Right.
And a learning curve.
No.
It's not real. I mean, you got to when you activate your subscription and you log into your back office, there's a couple of getting started videos. We have a tracking system that's unbelievable. And I want to give one example of that, but the learning curve is very little. I mean, if you start tonight, you can be up and running and placing ads and participating in the community. Well, you can participate in the community right away, but you can be up and running with your business within 24 hours. That's going through all the tutorials and all that, and that's what I like about this. It's not information overload. It's very simple, point, click, plug and play. But I do.
One thing, sorry to interrupt you, Jerry, because there's other systems out there that very confusing, and this is very easy. You don't have to know any coding or anything like that. It's literally. Yeah, I have some newbies that love it, and they can figure out. You just take the time and just really invest in yourself, guys. Watch the videos, and it's going to explain everything in detail. And I think that's where a lot of people try to rush things in business, especially online because they don't have a boss hanging over them. You just need to follow the steps and take your time to set it up. And like Jared, it's only going to take just a little bit of time to set everything up right, and then you're going to really invest in yourself how to work the system. So I mean that's why it's there, guys. And you don't go to college to try to become a doctor overnight or try to skim certain classes and then you go get a job and become a doctor and then oh crap, I don't know how to do the surgery. You just follow the steps.
And it's easy. There's not a lot of it's nothing. It's watching a few tutorials to set up some things in your back office. That's it. So very easy. Very easy. Good question, though. Great question.
Very good question.
Yeah, that's really it for now. We've got a lot of teammates coming out and sharing their experiences and what they've been through. So I think we're good. We really covered a lot. We've got a lot of questions answered. Let me see one more just came in.
Mike, I know you need to hop off on another call in a minute, so if you need to do that.
And I have a party to go to, so let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, baby.
I want to go with Kelly. She's
Come on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this thing is great. If you have a business, it solves a problem. If you don't get it, then we're going to be doing another webinar tomorrow. Maybe we can come then and get it then. But You're going to see us all over the place. We're launching anytime now. We can get an email, not an email, we can get a text tomorrow within tomorrow or like a week of we're launching. So if you wait until next week, you might miss this. This is not like a scare tactic. We are ready to go. So it's going to happen any day now. So check it out. Go through the process because that's going to show you what we have here. And you either get it or you don't, and that's okay. So I think that's it. Click the link on the page and just see what we're about.
Right on. You guys are awesome.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Love you guys.
See you soon, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
You guys, bye.